Okay, just testing. See if I'm actually getting out to you at this time. If you're there, say something. Hi Susie. Hi Alicia, thanks for joining. Had a few technical hitches earlier on, so please forgive us. So you can see the time here in the United Kingdom. It's just after midnight. And I'm just going to switch up and show you something else on here. You'll see me wearing my Ray Mac t-shirt. I don't know if you know Ray Mac, but he's a great guy. Trust me, he's a real cool dude, and he's got some real excellent videos on Southern American soul food cookery, and is well worth having a look. So it's Ray Mac's Kitchen and Grill. I'll just put that in there for you. Hi Madam Butterfly, thanks for joining us. I'll try and give you all a shout as you come online. This is rather impromptu. We're supposed to start at 11 PM my time. Hi John Doe, thanks for joining us. Oh, 5 miles. That's worn some shoe leather out then, John. Oh, thank you, Madam Butterfly. Yeah, I love Llangollen. Any excuse to go there, and I'm going to be there, you know. There's a little bit of lag between me talking. Oh no, I had to buy the shirt. Thanks for joining us, Mark. I had to buy the shirt off Ray Mac's what's it? His shop, his store. Train fire at Hampton suspended all service. Oh blimey. So there'll be a lot of angry commuters then, I guess. That's Hampton, New Hampshire, isn't it? Yeah. I trust. And the other, I've just been over at Taste of Trini's because I couldn't get on. She started a live stream just about the same time I started mine, and that's going to be well worth watching because it's they're all gathered round making Batman is making wontons. So Taste of Trini, always a great place to visit. I'll put that link in there so you can see it. Hang on one sec. Then, oh John, then the train that I was on was allowed to move, but it expressed from Rahway to New Brunswick bypassing Edison. Oh right. So I suppose that upset a fair few people. You must be stressed out, mate. I think you need a cup of tea. I need a cup of tea, but I neglected to get myself one before I started this live stream. They missed the live Doctor Who tour. Oh wow. That is not the way to go, is it? It might be to do with the frame rate. So some computers might struggle with it. It's saying keyframe. Oh, I need to change the keyframe. Right, and 1 sec. I'll see if I can do that now. Keyframe. Excuse me a minute, I'm just checking out. I don't know, it's got me. I'm struggling with this. I think I might have to kill this and then come back on my mobile phone, which seems to have no problems at all. Let's get back. Hi Sandra. A good beer and a steak. Yeah, that would be nice right now, actually. Right, okay. So John Doe can see and hear me. Is Madam Butterfly still struggling? It just says bad video settings. The current keyframe frequency is 8.3 seconds. Okay. I don't know where I can change that. I don't even see it. Stream, keyframe, replay buffer, enable replay buffer. Don't know if that's going to help. No, I'm struggling with that. I really am. Won't be in audio settings, video settings. Doesn't say keyframe. Advanced settings. No, I don't see it. All right, okay. Oh, okay. That's looking better then. Looks like you got lucky there, John. That's pretty handy, isn't it? So we've got Tasted Trinity there. Right, so what I've done is I've found this Get to Know Me tag, and I'll paste it in there so you can go look at these and then find a question. There's something like 300 odd questions here that you should be able to see. and then you can either fire the whole question at me, if you haven't got a question of your own, that is. So you can fire your question at me, or just copy the number and tell me what number question you'd like me to answer. Yeah, Tasted Trini, she's lovely, isn't she? Yeah, she's a good girl. And she's the real thing, you know. If you've seen me in videos with Tasted Trini, what you see is what you get. She's a really genuine, lovely lady from a wonderful family. The real thing. Right now I'm suffering from what the Trini's call tabanka. I've got tabanka for Trinidad. Madam Butterfly, what is my favourite food? It totally depends on my mood, but I nearly always default to what is spicy. So I love all kinds of food, but particularly spicy cuisines. So I love Caribbean food, particularly Trinbagonian food, and I love Thai food. I love Indian food. Yeah. Still saying bad settings up there, and it seems to come. It turns green, then it turns red. Don't think it knows what it's doing. Yeah, Taste of Trini. She's all excited at the moment because she's actually in Trinidad, and she's got a brand new nephew. Her sister's had this beautiful baby bouncy boy, and you can see him on this on here, look, and she's totally doting on him. That was great. Yes, well, if you get the chance. Where do you live, Madam Butterfly? Where do you live? Yeah, all good. All good, John. It's all good. As long as it's got plenty of spice and fun flavours and textures, it's good with me. Anyone else got a question? I'll answer a couple of. I'll pick some out and answer them myself until I see them pop up in the Q&A. How many people we got in chat at the moment? I cannot see. Basic info. Can't see. Oh, Liverpool. Oh, right. I think. I mean, years ago there was a very large, active African Caribbean community in Liverpool, in Toxteth, L8. So there must be places to eat. Am I scared of heights? Yes. I used to do. I've done parachuting. And I've done rock climbing. I've even done solo rock climbing without any ropes. Pretty much at the limit of my ability at the time. Yes, I am scared of heights, and only a fool wouldn't be. And I wouldn't want to climb with someone who wasn't afraid of heights. A Mediterranean food. Oh, for sure, Mary. Thanks for joining us, Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins has got a fabulous channel with lots of wonderful Mediterranean recipes on, and really, the real McCoy, not just restaurant food, but the sort of food they eat at home. And I really love that channel. So get it on, mate. Gabbit, he says. I don't know what you mean, mate. I'm excellent, Mary. Thank you very much. We're looking at this question and answer tag. I'll put the link in again so that if you can't think of a question to ask me, you can pick one off that list. Sandra, hi there. Hi again, Sandra. Thanks for joining us. You love Irish food. You want to know what a good... Do you want to know what is a good Irish... Sorry, I think that message got cut off, Sandra. You want to know what's... I've got... I think I did last year at St Patrick's Day. I did one about Guinness, sausages and champ, which is really... Yeah, you need to go to Llangollen. It's not far down the road from you, Madam Butterfly. Night maintenance. Who, me? No, I'm a taxi driver. I'm a night person. I do nights. I don't know what YouTube are telling me here. 8.3 seconds. It doesn't relate to anything on OBS. That 8.3 seconds. I have no idea what they mean by that. There's no switch for me to do that in OBS. OBS is this up here, and it's how I'll bring it across and show you. The reason I don't have it on this page is because it does that. So, but it's this software by which I affect these live things when I'm not using my mobile phone. Oh, what did you mean? Mark, that's a really good question. It's fairly loaded politically at the moment because of the debates going on in the United States right now. But I think I'm a classic libertarian, not liberal in the American sense of the word, but I'm a classic libertarian in the fact that I believe in small government and the government keeping its nose out of my business, and everyone else for that matter. And I do believe that English people should be able to arm themselves, because as far as I'm concerned, the only real protection people have got from a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Because when seconds count, the police are minutes away. So that answers the question. So my answer to that is yes. I believe I should be able to protect myself and those I love. The dish I'm looking about, and still I can't find the right recipe. There must be lots. I think there's a really nice Greek dish, kleftiko. I know it's made with lamb and tomatoes are in there and herbs and stuff, but I'd really like to see a real recipe for that, Mary, if you can put me that up there, because I know you're into Greek food as well. And I'm struggling to perfect my recipe for Scotch pies, because my pies playlist really needs a Scotch pie in it, but I'm still struggling with that recipe. I'm trying to perfect it, and I'm not going to put it out until I do perfect it. Are you high maintenance? No, I'm really low maintenance. I live quite frugally. Oh, hi Emma. Oh, you tucked them in with their full bellies, did you? After eating the dal. How was the dal? Was it nice? Yes. Hi. Am I high maintenance? No, definitely not. I live very frugally. I eat well, but that's it. I'm not high maintenance. So, oh, thanks. Yes, yes, I do. I had Cleftico in when I was last in Greece. It was a long time ago, but it was absolutely gorgeous, and I'd really love to. It was a little restaurant in a place called Kato Alaporion, looking out over the Ionian Sea, and it was absolutely beautiful, that place. The sunsets there were amazing. Emma says she agrees being armed makes her feel safer, especially in the countryside. You hope you never have to use them. Hey, absolutely, you hope you never have to use them. I was a soldier and I carried a rifle for 17 years, and fortunately I never had to use it in anger. Certainly not oh, thanks Mary. You need to do a medieval dinner or what King Henry ate. That's really good. I like that, Sandra. Right, King Henry VIII. In those days they ate with a knife, and I believe they had a plate made out of flour that they called a trencher. That's about all I know about it. But there are lots of good medieval recipes around, and there are quite a few websites that do it. Yeah, I'm a tightwad like you, Mark. Not quite as good at sniffing out a bargain as you. Mark's got a channel. Let's just show you. Let me show you how to do this. Let me drag this across here. So you can go to the side there, click on those three buttons and go to Mark's channel. So I can now, I middle clicked on that, so it brings up Mark's channel like that. Okay, so it says three little buttons at the side, and you can go to Mary Poppins channel. Check this out. Hang on, let me show you. Mary Poppins channel. There. Go to channel, and you'll see Mary Poppins, and you can go straight to her videos tab and check out all those amazing recipes. I watch all Mary Poppins' videos, love them, because it's unlike any other internet food site really. She's a bit different and a bit special, and look at these wonderful recipes. So where do we get to? Let me move this back over to my there. So where am I? Madam, I need to take a leaf out of your book and be more frugal for sure. Yeah, I think it's really a case of I live without much money for quite a long time, so I got into the habits of being rather frugal. Another one, a really great friend of mine is Emma, Flavour of Life the Sustainable Way, here in the chat now, and she lives the sustainable life in Nova Scotia on a homestead, and they grow all their own nearly all their own food, and they pick they forage for wild food and go fishing and shoot and hunt. They live that life, you know. They live the good life. And homemade mint ice cream. Emma, behave. You're tempting me. Yeah. I love dal. Dal is one of them great things. Kefalonia. That's good. Good evening. Hi, Brittany. Brittany's got a great channel. If you click on those side buttons, let me bring that back into view for you. Again, Ellen's Homemade Delights. That's Brittany's channel. And go there. Go to channel. And this lady, trust me, this lady isn't just totally gorgeous. She's got all these wonderful things. And they say if you want to know how to keep cool in the summer, you got to ask a Southern Belle. She'll tell you. Look at these. I go there to tempt myself. And Brittany also does some ladies' fashion ones, so you ladies might be interested in that. Thanks, Brittany. It's called, I think her name's Brittany Ellen, isn't it? So her friends call her Brittany anyway, I think. I do. So, let's get back to the questions. Yes, a plate made out of flour. It was called a trencher, and it was a bit like a hardtack biscuit, but it would have been thrown away at the end of the meal. I doubt only the poor people would have eaten it, I think. Do I like fishing? I used to go fishing a fair amount. I used to go with some friends sea fishing. I was only talking to Emma from A Flavour of Life the Sustainable Way. I was only talking to Emma about that just the other day, and her daughter. Oh, thanks, Madam Butterfly. That's really kind. Yeah, I agree. Western life it's really going downhill. Yeah. Yeah, in the south they really know how to, southern United States, they really know how to barbecue. And there's some amazing, super wonderful soul food you can't get anywhere else. You've got to go down there and do it. Oh, I'd love to make a trip down south soon. Oh, see you, Mary. Thank you and good night. When in the army, how fast could I strip down my rifle and reassemble it? I was always one of the two fastest in my group, and there was one time during a particular selection I went through that we had to do it in the dark with British and foreign weapons, and the instructors came along and scrambled it all around while we were in the dark, so we had to feel it and put it all back together again. That was pretty extreme. And but it's good training. I was really fast. But I was in boys service for 2.5 years, and before I went to a working unit, and boys service was drill, PT, weapon training. Drill, PT, weapon training. You're welcome, Brittany. Thank you, Madam Butterfly. You won't regret it. They're great channels. We have a big string of oxeye daisy drying in the house, and the wild roses have just come into bloom. So they are next. And yarrow. Oh, you get lots of rose hips from those, won't you? The wild roses. Not only that, I love wild roses. I think it's such a beautiful flower. The little wild briars we get in Britain are just wonderful. Let me see if I can get you a picture of one. Wild briar. Oh. These, aren't they gorgeous? Look at that. I just love them for their simplicity. You know, they got all these. You get all these fancy roses with all these wonderful petals, but I just love the simplicity of that little. I just love them. Crazy about them. And not only that, when they go back to becoming rose hips, actually you want these to be red, really. And I know my friend Emma will have lots of uses for those. They are packed with vitamin C. You've got to take out the seeds inside, because they've got nasty little choke hairs on them, and as naughty kids we used to use that as itching powder. Yeah. And more, these are rose hips growing on a wild briar. Wonderful. Packed with vitamin C. During the Second World War in Britain, people were told to make rosehip syrup with this and sugar. Oh, gumbo, yeah. Am I a native of Wales? No. I tell people I'm half Welsh, but actually I'm a quarter Welsh. My mother was she had an English mother and a Welsh father. You make a mean gumbo. Oh, nice. You know, I don't know many British people who like okra. They say it's slimy, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it as when I go to an Indian restaurant, I normally have a bindi bhaji, you know, which is a side dish of okra. Really good. Yeah, gumbo. Well, there's a big welcome waiting for you here, Ellen. Brittany, when you do come, trust me, just hook me up and we'll meet up, and I'll take you for some good food. Yeah, that's nice, Madam Butterfly. Yeah, she is beautiful. Yeah, very much so. She's got that winning smile. You just can't, you know, it just melts you, doesn't it? Yeah, it's rosehip syrup is amazing. It's wonderful. Oh, thanks for that, Mark. Thumbs up if you like rosehips. Thumbs up if you like Southern American food. Hey, green bastards here. Hi, GB. How you doing, mate? Heidi ho. GB's is another guy's got a channel, but it's not particularly family friendly. But if you want to have a look, just let me see if I can get his channel up here. Let's do it this way. GB. There we are. So, GB. It's crazy anarchic, but dull it isn't. And he does some great food. If you get hungry late at night, or the munchies as people call it, that's the channel to check out. Let's go. Oh, rosehip wine. Yeah. Ooh, I think I got a treat. I'm going to visit. Where was I? That was funny, Brittany, because that word had the word bomb in it. It got held for review. There couldn't be a less offensive person in the world than Brittany, and that's great. Yeah, I'll be going to visit Emma, Flavour of Life, on the homestead in Nova Scotia in September. So you'll be seeing some videos coming your way from Canada, from Nova Scotia in September on my channel. And I'll be nagging Emma until she's got her own channel up and running. I'm bad like that. Creatorsthebomb.com. I totally agree. Yeah, a lot of certainly European people would say it was slimy. A lot of Anglos think it's slimy. I personally love it. You got a tiny bit of Welsh DNA on your ancestry test. Oh, that's good. That's pretty. GB's pretty high at the moment. Is my brother interested in doing Alliance? Not really, Mark. Richard, he is a rather private individual. You know what he's like. He's quiet but he's a bit private. I don't think he fancies it much. Yeah, GB is from the Trailer Park Boys. Yeah, he's not one of the Trailer Park Boys, but he should be. How was my weekend? Fabulous. Fabulous. Yeah, they do. Hi, Sandra. Thank you. Cooking. Yeah. Yeah, it will be an awesome trip. I'm so looking forward to it. I'm totally clucking, you know. I've got to be there. Yeah. And I chat with Emma and the children every day. Fried okra. I tell you what I've never tried, Brittany, Ellen, is I've never tried them deep fried. I've had them every which way. They're nice in gumbo, and they're really, really nice in bindi bhaji, the Indian dish. Right, it's a long drive, GB, mate. That's a long drive. Yeah, it'll be fabulous. It will be fabulous. I like the Trailer Park Boys. Oh. I do love the Trailer Park Boys. Right, so for anyone who's just joined us, what we're doing is we're looking what you can do. If you can't think of a question of your own, you can pick one from that lot that I've just posted in the chat. Just pick a question from there and you can fire it at me, or just any question of your own. Yeah, she is awesome, mate. She is absolutely awesome. She's got that winning smile. Yeah, I love Trailer Park Boys. I just love. I like it because it's raw, isn't it? You know, it's kind of raw and totally irreverent. Yeah. Hi, Big Kev. Is this? Do I know Big Kev from anywhere? I wonder. Let's check him out. Let's go to his channel. I'm going to stalk you now, Kev. Oh, I don't know if I do know Kev. Ah. Well, looks like he's got a baby boy. Looks like a boy. It's blue, yeah. Hi, Kevin. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. My day's been pretty good, actually, mate. Pretty good. My favourite quote. Yes. My favourite quote is a kind of antidote to all the groupthink that seems to be going on at the moment. Everyone's thinking the same. So, it was a quote by an American general called George S. Patton, who was a great fighting general of World War II. And a real character. And he said, if everybody's thinking the same, somebody's not thinking. Good, eh? And on the spiritual side, my favourite quote is that all misery stems from desire. So if you control your desires, then misery will never control you. That's pretty profound, eh? That's my favourite quote, thank you. Who was my cooking idol growing up? That's a pretty good question. Growing up, well, when I was a little boy, Richard Hittleman, the Galloping Gourmet, he was very famous. He was a British guy, and he was he made himself famous on American television, going around the world cooking and tasting all those wonderful gourmet dishes from around the world. So he was a great inspiration for me. Delia Smith's a great inspiration for me because she's great and her recipes work. But my real hero, and someone I emulate to a slight way, is Keith Floyd, the late Keith Floyd. And I actually met Keith Floyd in Salisbury around about when would that have been? Around about 1987 I met him, but he died a few years ago, but he was really my hero. I'll see if I can get a picture of him for you. Floyd, oh, spelt it wrong. But oh, it's forgiven me. That was Keith Floyd, and it was a real character. And one of his great quotes was that to make a Boeuf Bourguignon, you need 2 bottles of Chateauneuf de Pape. That's one for the chef and one for the dish. He was seldom seen without a glass in his hand. And when I met him in 87, it was a book signing in Salisbury, and I was stationed not far from there, so I nicked off work, skived off work to go there and meet Keith Floyd, and I took him a bottle of Chateauneuf de Pape, and I was photographed by the press at the time in uniform, where I shouldn't have been, shaking hands with the great Keith Floyd and handing him this bottle. So I actually met my idol. I was a total sycophant for him because he's just amazing. He's just amazing. He's the daddy of them all. But he saw out his time, ravaged by drink. I think he gave his liver to his art. Wonderful guy. Amazing bloke. He was my idol, to answer your question. He was, yeah. He was always clicking on the wire. Yeah. He was famous in Canada too. And then he found Who was that? Richard Hittleman. Oh, thanks, Kev. So I've responded to you because I respond to everyone if I can. Right, let's go back up. GB, I like to live my life my way. I know that my attitude pisses many people off, but you live for me, mate. You're true to yourself. You don't have to. Explain yourself. That's you're true to yourself, mate. To yourself be true. And we can't change who we are, can we? Or what we are. We can't change it. It's if you cut my head off, you can count the rings, mate. Who found Jesus? I don't think Keith Lloyd found Jesus. He found Chateauneuf-du-Pape. Yeah, I adore Keith Lloyd. I still adore him. He lives on in me. Yeah. So let's go. 1 glass for the dish and 2 for me. Right, that's him. Yeah, he died skint. Yeah, he had a rather lavish lifestyle that he couldn't sustain. It's 12:50. It's 10-1 here, GB. Not yet, Mark. I've got to be rather delicate about that. The reason being because it'll open the floodgates to all the other drivers doing the same. That's the only problem. Oh, Graham Kerr, yeah. Yeah, your liver. Yes. Did he get, was he born again Christian or something? What? Right, what is my favourite town or city, Madam Butterfly? Hands down, Hong Kong. I loved living in Hong Kong. I served 2 years in Hong Kong with the British Army. I was so lucky to go there. And it was an amazing place. Like New York, it just never sleeps. And it's the food capital of the world, you know. Yeah, within 4 blocks of downtown Tsim Sha Tsui in Kowloon, I could go from one end eating New York Jewish style food to the other end eating Australian barbecue and everything in between, every kind of Asian food. I've been to Singapore as well, and I think if I had more time there, I kind of think that Singapore would probably be my favourite city, but I just haven't spent enough time there, only 2 days. But Hong Kong it's a fabulous city, great place, and the ordinary Chinese people of Hong Kong are amazing. They've got a great sense of humour. They work hard. They're just great. They're so resourceful and cheerful most of the time. I really loved Hong Kong. Got a new computer and the keys are laid to one side. So oh right, that's all right. Because I know that myself and Emma are fluent in Taiwanese. We speak Taiwanese. Not just the beer chugs. Well, it's not illegal in Canada. You know, you can smoke as much of that as you like in Canada. Unfortunately, it's still illegal in this country. I don't know why. It's completely harmless. They say it's a gateway drug. What to? Your fridge? Anybody got any more questions? I'll pick one out, actually. Shall I? Oh, I like that one. What is my favourite cultural activity? You guys can answer this question as well. What's my favourite cultural activity? And you'll see me do it, and that is going places and meeting people in far-flung places and learning their food, learning their customs, and that's my favourite cultural activity. There's nothing better than food and travel for me. Just love it. Yeah. How's my family? My family are excellent. Thank you, Brittany. They're wonderful. My daughter and her husband are currently in Morocco, or they may just be coming back. I'm not sure, but they've been in Morocco this week, so that would be a life's ambition realised for me if I managed to get to Morocco. Haven't been yet. Really want to go. The street food in Morocco is internationally famous for being excellent, so I really want to go to Morocco. I bet GB would like to go to Morocco, but for another reason. What's your favourite music genre? I have an extremely eclectic taste in music. I like everything from Elgar to Nine Inch Nails and everything in between. Growing up, I was into what we now call R&B, but we called it soul music back then, and reggae. I particularly like reggae music. I like the old Lovers reggae. That was fabulous, Barrington Levy and Gregory Isaacs. Those great Lovers music, reggae tracks. Wonderful. John Holt, loved it. And of course, who doesn't love Bob Marley? Yes, food and travel. It's the most wonderful experience. Aside from the absolute joy of being there and watching my children be born, it was it's the most fulfilling experience I've had is food and travel, and in particularly the welcome I had from Taste of Trini, from Reshmi's family in Trinidad. It was amazing, incredible. I'm a little bit emotional even just talking about that. One good and one bad teacher from when I was at school. Yes, I can. I'll tell you the good, and then I'll tell you the bad, and then I'll tell you about the good, because I like to do what they call a poo sandwich. Good, bad, good. The good teacher was a Mrs. Carris Jones, and she was my teacher when I was in junior school. So that's the school in the UK that we go to from the age of when we first go to school, so 4 or 5, until, well, you get infant school and then we get junior school. So that would take you probably from the age of about 7 to 11 at the time. And it was Mrs. Carris Jones. She was a Welsh lady, and she was my teacher in Ysgol Emmanuel, the Emmanuel School in Rhyl, here in Rhyl, when I was a boy. And she was amazing. She really took interest in me and my brother. Mum was bringing us up on her own, and we needed a lot of help and guidance, and we got it. And amazing. One good teacher can make a big difference in the life of a kid. So if you're a teacher, you've got a lot of power in your hands, power to do good, and unfortunately a lot of power to do bad too. And a bad teacher. He wasn't terrible, but he was a strict disciplinarian. His name was Mr. Wheatley. He must be long gone now. Mr. Wheatley was a rather old teacher in a school I went to in Nottingham, and in those days, if you misbehaved, you'd get a whack on the backside with a cane, a rattan cane, and he'd point. If he caught you misbehaving in school, he'd point to you and he'd say, "You, get to my room. You get 6," meaning 6 whacks of the cane. He was a bad teacher. Yeah. But enough about him. Caris Jones was amazing. She was lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And last I heard, she was still alive. Like an old lady, but she's still alive. And I think it was, I was a bit of a tearaway at that age, and I think she turned me around. Really turned me around. It's amazing how children respond to love, isn't it? Alright, see you later. See you later, Emma, and enjoy that tipple. You've earned it. Lovely. Hugs and loves, and to all the family. Yeah, GB. That's what I meant. Yeah, they're known for it, aren't they? Do some fancy hashish. 9 Inch Nails. Yeah, awesome, eh? No, I don't think it is either, GB. I don't think modern R&B is. It's not like the R&B I grew up with. It doesn't feel the same. How many kids do I have? I have 2. I have a boy and a girl. Oh, is it Canada Day today? Did you say? Letting off the fireworks. Oh, great. Brittany, Ellen, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It's been great having your company here. I'm sure everybody else will agree with me on that one. Really nice. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it. Your neighbour from the USA is here for the week, so you must show. Yeah, can you teach him how to spell? Only joking. Yeah, you have to. I bet it's got something to do with a zippy and a something you stick between your 2 fingers. Oh, his name's Emmanuel. That's lovely. What a fabulous name. I love that name, I do. Yeah. Emmanuel. The only problem is it gets shortened to Manny, doesn't it? Manny. It's not so bad, Manny, I suppose. Yes, a good teacher's worth the weight in gold. Yeah, very much so. Right, let me find another random one. Somebody pick a number, just random number, and I'll answer the question that goes with it. It's got to be between 1 and 371. Pick a number between 1 and 371. And I'll be wrapping it up pretty soon. Alright, mate. Thanks for joining us. It's been great having you along. Thanks, mate. Really appreciate you joining us. Thanks. There's a real character, guys. Real character. RTFO. That's funny. So 369 and a half. Right, let me see if there is one. 369. 369. Would you rather talk in your sleep or fart in your sleep? I have been known to do both. It depends if I'm sleeping alone or not. I think we'll have to say I'd rather fart in my sleep, because then I'm not giving away any secrets. So that's halfway between that and would you rather walk funny or talk funny? I'd rather walk funny and do an impression of John Cleese doing the Ministry of Silly Walks. Zach Emmanuel. Oh, Portuguese name. Oh, I like Portuguese food. Oh, Portuguese food is super. Bolinhos de bacalhau. Those little fish cakes that are crunchy outside, soft in the middle, made with salt cod. Amazing. Amazing. Lots of other great things as well. They do lots of good things with salt codfish and chickpeas and all sorts. Really good Portuguese food. Good. That's a lot of long names. Do I recycle? Yeah. Yeah, I do. Yeah. Well, I don't think we got. I think we have to here, but I'll do it anyway. And so should others. Recycling's important, especially plastics, because those things are messy. They've got long half-lives. So, I won't mention it just yet, but I'm actually looking at a project to go some way to solving that, hopefully. But that will be that's in my 5-year plan. Any more questions? 10 watching now, blimey. Well, seeing as the watch numbers have actually gone up, I might stay on a few more minutes. Right. I'm going to pick a number, a random number. Yeah, I agree with you, Madam Butterfly. The plastics are a major problem. There are islands of plastics floating in the oceans that are as big as some countries. So it's really got to stop, and we've got to find ways of clearing that up. Yeah, it is. These are long polymers, these plastics, and they're not going to decay for hundreds, perhaps even thousands of years. Ciao, GB. To what extent do you trust people? I like this one, actually. To what extent do you trust people? Everyone I meet gets unconditional positive regard from me. They don't get my respect until they've earned it, but they get unconditional positive regard until they prove otherwise. So trust is something you have to earn. Trust is like respect. You have to earn it. And I don't want to sound cynical, but I usually know within a few minutes of meeting someone whether or not I trust them, and it's a gut feeling. It's in my heart, and it's in their heart. You know what I mean? I'm sure you do. What else can I do? Oh, there's another question. Am I going back to Llangollen this summer? Yes. Yes. I'm not sure whether I should tell you now. It's a project where biodegradable plastics are made from hemp, and that's the hemp is the it's like it grows like cannabis, but it doesn't have a psychoactive. It doesn't have a significant psychoactive compound in it, so it's neutral. You can get a hemp growing license fairly easily if you've got the land. And the best thing about hemp is it restores barren, damaged land in just one season or two if you want to be safe. But even land that's been contaminated with things like diesel, it just repairs it somehow. It's amazing. Hemp is an amazing plant. Look it up if you're not sure. Some say the Singaporean regime is draconian, but I think they're. I've been to Singapore, and it is such a wonderful city. It's so clean. Because it's a tropical city, and because it's where it is, so you've got the Malay and you've got the Chinese influence in the food, and all the other European influences in the food as well. It is such a wonderful place to eat, and you can just go to any street vendor and they are absolutely spotless. Really, it's super safe. Yeah, wonderful place. Love it. Hi, Molly. Thanks for joining us, Molly. Nice to see you. It's nice. It's nice to have you here. We're doing a Q&A, and I've got these questions up here. I'll post them so you can see. If you can't think of a question yourself to ask me, just pick one from there, and as long as it's not too invasive, I'll answer it. Yeah, I think it is. Hempcrete as well. It's like a concrete made with hemp fibre. It's proving to be an amazing building medium, because it's thermodynamic, which means that if it's cold outside, it'll keep you warm, and if it's hot outside, it'll keep you cool. It's just absolutely amazing. And the hemp plastic, it's biodegradable. Biodegradable plastic. How about that, boys and girls? Yeah. The other thing is, as well as just if you grow hemp for biomass, it grows 6 times faster than trees. It's just ridiculous that we're not using it. And you can just put it on barren land, and it will turn it into excellent land in just 2 seasons. Absolutely fantastic. Bandages that don't stick to your wounds, all sorts of things, amazing stuff. Really strong fibre. You know the original Levi's were made of hemp? Yeah. And it was the cotton barons that got hemp banned in the United States and then all over the world. It's just too useful a plant. Yeah. So I'm going to find another question. There's 10 of you watching now. How many thumbs up have I had? I know I shouldn't ask, but it all helps. What colour is my bedroom carpet? It's green and dirt coloured. Yeah, and the original American Declaration of Independence was written on hemp paper. When am I coming back to Trinidad? Well, I've been a bit tight for money for a while because I got made redundant in my IT job, so it's been a bit tough. I can travel to Canada like I'm going to do this summer, but it costs me half as much to go there as opposed to going to Trinidad. So I've got to tighten the reins and save up or find something else to earn me some more money, and of course I'd need to be invited. But yeah. Yeah, that's true. The governments are not acting in the interest of the people at all anywhere. I do not believe that they are. That we're catching them doing all sorts of rotten things, and the internet is turning on them, isn't it? I mean, I'm sure they wanted it to be like George Orwell's Big Brother in every living room spying on us, which it is. But it also turns that lens around, and you can spy on them. You can find out things. We used to sit in ignorance, but now information is only a click away for us. So I don't think the powers that be like the internet anymore. So we should resist the control of the internet. We should resist it. Yeah, mine does too, Madam Butterfly. Yeah. Oh, hi, Gray. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah, I'm a great fan of Woody Harrelson. He's not only one of the best actors of his generation, he's also a really wide awake guy, in my opinion. I like him a lot. Yeah, I think he's working on hemp plastics as well. I think Woody is. I think he's into hemp plastics in a big way, and hempcrete. They're just byproducts, aren't they, of hemp, the hemp fibre industry. When you strip the fibre from the hemp, you use the chaff from that to mix with your concrete into hempcrete. Utterly amazing. It's a product that would otherwise just be wasted. Amazing, yet it becomes this incredible building material. Fabulous. Yeah, Planet B. Yeah. We've got a perfectly good planet here. There's a lot of rubbish talked about. Gloom and doom stuff. It's because the press, they sell more papers when they hit you with gloom and doom. Oh, here's a good question. What are the top 3 qualities that draw you to someone new? Well, the first one is that they can engage me at eye level, and we can all innately read body language to a certain extent, and it's just there's a general sense of openness and honesty, a welcoming way about people, and a smile. A smile goes a long way. So yeah, they're the top 3 qualities, really. The Mile Higher podcast. Alright, let's have a look at that.
Gary, other than...
Oh, check that out. Thank you. Yeah, all good. That's in my history now, so good. Thank you for that. Interesting. Yeah. I look at a lot of those kind of channels. Madam Butterfly, I do, because we're being lied to so much on the mainstream. It's just not even funny anymore. It's ridiculous. It's beyond a joke, and I think collectively people are waking up to it and they're fed up with it. Yeah, I'll check that out. Thanks. Right, another question. Still got 8 on board. Let me just... What's that? What is the hardest part of my job? Well, I'm a taxi driver. The hardest part of my job is the fact that we're exposed. I have been attacked, and the guy that attacked me is now in prison. So it really shook me, and that's the hardest part of my job. I don't think people realise that taxi drivers are very exposed. Any more questions? What was the first tattoo you got? My first one will be... my next one will be my first. Blimey, these are weird, some of these questions. So, what book do I remember as being important to me? I think Madam Butterfly might agree with me on at least one of these. I would have to say the ones that really turned me around have been George Orwell 1984, George Orwell's Animal Farm, George Orwell's Homage to Catalonia, Aldous Huxley's Brave New World, Anthony Burgess' Clockwork Orange. These are books that have really turned my head around, and for good reason. Everyone needs to read them, especially now. This is a good question. If I could change something about my home without worry about expense or mess, what would I do? I'd build a studio, boys and girls. I'd build a kookery studio. No, it's a growing experience, Madam Butterfly. I'm over it. You know, I was a bit scared to go out for a short while after, and then I put my hand on my door handle and it worked, and then I put my hand on the car door handle and that worked, and then I sat down behind the wheel and that worked, and eventually I got back working fully. Clockwork Orange is an amazing book. Needs to be read. Yeah. But certainly Brave New World needs to be seen, and so does Animal Farm, and so does 1984. That's good. Zach's getting an education then. That's good. I'm not sure kids are getting good education. I mean, education should be relevant to what they're going to do. But I'm not even sure that university degrees are that important anymore, because I can find out anything I need and learn any skill I want within reason by watching videos. You can find out anything. If you want to know how to do something, that's your search inquiry in YouTube. Yeah, I guess I am pretty strong. I was in the army for a long time, 17 years. Came out as in the rank of sergeant. So yeah, my highest rank attained was an acting staff sergeant. But I've seen active service too, so I've had to do a lot of self-examination, like all soldiers have. So yeah. Yeah, and that's another point about university, Madam Butterfly, isn't it? The debt. I mean, there's so many people out there now going to university, and some of them are getting completely irrelevant degrees that are never going to get them any earnings. And yeah, I don't know. They get degrees in subjects that nobody's ever going to pay them money for. I don't know why they do it. It's just, and then they're saddling themselves with all that debt. It's beyond my comprehension why they do it. Right. Okay. If you haven't got any more questions, I'll be wrapping it up in about 10 minutes. Make that 5 minutes. Just so there's no pregnant pauses. Let's have a look. Have you ever visited a country outside your continent? Just a lot. Have you ever taken self-defense lessons? Yes, I studied martial arts for a long time as a young man. I was heavily into martial arts as a young man. Have I ever ridden on a motorbike? Yeah. My other car's a trike. What's my star sign? My star sign is Leo. I was born in August, and I'm pretty archetypical for a Leo. Yeah, it's I'm proud of that achievement, Madam Butterfly. I did all right doing that, and I came from a pretty humble background, and I did things during a military career that I could never have done otherwise. So yeah. Yeah, the Clanfest motorcycles, love them. You know, there was I think it was the 2017 Clanfest one I did. There was a Bruff Superior motorcycle there that was worth £500,000. A motorbike, incredible, eh? £500,000. That's about $600,000. It's a lot of money. Oh, here's a good question. How difficult is it for you to be honest, even when your words may be hurtful or unpopular? I had a sainted paternal grandmother who would always say honesty is the best policy, so I follow that. And it is, I am rather sensitive to it, so it is difficult for me, but I find the courage to do it. I have to. It's important that the truth is out. Sometimes we do tell little, what they call white lies, that don't know why they call them white lies, but they're lies that you would tell a little fib just to smooth things over, but in the long run the truth always catches up with you. How difficult is it for me to forgive someone who refuses to apologise? Absolutely impossible. If you can't apologise, you've got no character. Alright, another couple of minutes. Oh, my grandmother was lovely. I've got a picture of her. Let me go and get it and show you. Forgive my trousers. I think that you'll be able to see that. That's my grandmother. See the resemblance? That wonderful lady was a Victorian. She was born in Victorian times and she died in 1974, and my brother and I remember her with reverence every day of our lives. That's what kind of a woman she was. Fabulous woman. She believed every single word in the Bible and she would take no argument from it. Good woman she was. Hi, willkommen. Großen aus Wales. Raucher Uncle. Smoker Uncle. Das ist ein gutes Name. What's apologies and change behaviour for? Yeah, my grandma's wonderful. It's nice to see Räucher Uncle joining us. Thank you very much. Nice to see you from Germany. I've got a playlist with some of my favourite German recipes on that I put up, so it's there in my. Let me see if I can find it. It's here somewhere. Playlists. German recipes. All playlists. Oh yes. Yeah, some of those questions are pretty good actually. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'll search in here. There you go, my German recipes playlist. So there you go. I'll put it up there. That's the German playlist. I've concentrated mainly on the German recipes that were really popular with my English friends who I served in Germany, and I lived in Germany for a total of I think about 8 years. Long time. I had a lovely time there. Loved Germany. Wonderful country. Great food. Yeah. Gotta be done. My grandmother was an incredibly strong lady. Yes, she was. Yeah. Yes. I'll do 2 more questions and then we'll call it a day. 2 more. 2 more. If there's none from the floor, I'll pick another one. What is the one item you can't leave home without? My camera. My video camera. Last question, unless you're going to hit me with 1 or 2, is am I a morning person or a night owl? I think I've already said I'm a night owl. Right, I think I need to wrap this up now. What do I like about my home? It's in a really nice, quiet neighbourhood. Mostly people my brother's age and I, or older, and it's a quiet cul-de-sac. In other words, it's not a through road. We call it cul-de-sac in Britain. It's like driving into a bottle and then out again. Hi John, and is that John and Rebecca at Cast Iron Skillet? Wow. Right, okay, let's show you again, boys and girls. You need to become friends of Cast Iron Skillet. So what you do is you go here, click on that and go to channel, and you'll meet 2 lovely people. 2 lovely people with some fabulous recipes. Yeah, amazing, lovely couple, and they really know their way around the kitchen. Yeah. Ritika too. Oh, we're gonna have to do this again for Ritika. Let's see. Ritika's here. Look. Hi, Bobby. Thanks for joining us. Oh, yeah. Samberis. I love it up there. I do. The majesty of those mountains. Right. Another friend to look at for fabulous Indian cookery. I don't know how she crams so much information into such a small amount of time, but she does, and without compromising on the brilliance of the recipes too. She's very, very good. Ritika's. If you saw my video on making Indian pickle, an Indian chili pickle, that was a collab with Ritika, because I just copied her recipe and put it out there. But Ritika is one of my sources for learning great. This is a recipe, boys and girls, that we were talking about earlier, the bindi bhaji, but this in India they would call that masala bindi. So it's beautiful, beautiful. I love that. I love bindi. I do. I love okra. So there you go. Get yourself subscribed to the lovely Ritika and check out all her. And as you see by the red lines here, look, I watch all her videos, all of them. So, got to be done. Right, let me put that back over the other side. Back to me questions. The other screen, I've got a dual screen set up here, so I'm reading off that one and responding to your questions here. You're welcome, Ritika. Thank you. Thank you for all the time and effort you put into making your amazing videos. Thank you. Alright. Oh, Shah C's here. Shah C's in the house, boys and girls. Shah C has been a friend of my channel for almost since the beginning, and better late than never, Shah C. I thank you, Ritika. Yeah, I do like your videos. Everybody would love your videos. It's only a matter of giving you enough exposure. Yeah, Shah C is a great friend. She's clicks on just about every single one of my videos and comments on them. Lovely, lovely. Very nice. So we're back up to 9 again now. Alright, I've got to cut this off at some time, so I think we'll do that now. It's what time is it in here? I'm actually in North Wales, not London, but we're on the same time scheme, so it's I'm a bit of a night owl, Ritika. Yeah. So it's for those of you that joined later, there's a couple of channels that you'll see me wearing this t-shirt, and I'm wearing the t-shirt because I'm a big fan of this amazing guy, Ray Mack. Wonderful guy, a really nice bloke, family man, and grandfather, lovely bloke, fabulous bloke. And his recipes are spot on, Southern American cuisine, fabulous, and soul food. That's the one you got to go to. Yeah. In fact, I think he's up here on your picture, and he's up there. There you go. That's Ray Mack, my friend and brother. Good bloke. And Taste of Trini, of course, we all know. If you don't know Taste of Trini by now, you haven't been paying attention to my channel. Oh, blimey, Ritika G, that's real late, isn't it? Madam Butterfly, you should go and get some sleep now. I really appreciate you being here, thank you. But you should go and get some sleep if you're up. You know, you're up in 4 hours. Okay, right. Time to wrap up. Only this time I gotta go. I did stay a little bit longer because Ritika G joined us, and it's got to be done. Show respect to your friends, don't you? Huh? Right, there's nothing left to do except save. Oh, okay. I've got a dash now anyway, Ritika. Thank you, and My regards to your family. Yeah, Ray is just up the road from you. He's there in Carolina, in North Carolina, aren't you guys? Also Scott from the Real Show Barbecue. He's in I think he's in Northeast Carolina. Bye, Madam Butterfly. Thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate your company, and I'm sure everyone else does. And I really enjoyed your questions tonight. Thank you very much. See you guys, and big love from the big fella in North Wales. Bye now. Thank you.